Good morning.
Outstanding. You got a nice hand. Look at that.
Sure.
Oh, perfect placement. You switched sides on the sign from last week.
Yeah, the
surveyors came by and
so Sunday
nice
morning.
To see you. Nice to see you.
Yeah, it's nice.
Sunday morning for us. A little different. Nice.
So you know that my buddy Jason?
Yes, I do. I remember Jason well. He's notorious on the cast.
Yeah, so he always says
Oh, I know what he always says.
No, but he always says to me, "Hey, it's good to see you." And I say, "It's good to be seen." But for some reason he doesn't like that. I don't know why. He says, "I don't like that." I says, "Well, then don't give me the trigger for it then."
All right. Don't set me up.
If you say it's good to see you, I'm going to say it's good to be seen. If you don't want me to say that, just don't say it's good to see you. Just leave me alone.
I think he wants you to say good to see you too. You should ask him that. What would you like me to say when you say to me, good to see you? And he'd say, I'd like you to say, good to see you too.
I called him yesterday.
Say, don't tell me what to say.
I called him yesterday. I says, I'm totally upset with you, man. I didn't use upset. I used a different word. I says, I'm totally upset with you. He goes, why? I says, because yesterday you and I were talking, and I asked you, what's the lotto numbers this week? And you gave me the numbers. I wrote them down, and it didn't work, buddy. I'm pissed off at you.
I could have been a bazillionaire if it wasn't for you and your lousy numbers.
That's right.
Oh.
Let me see. Check. Is that good? Can you hear that?
Oh yeah, it's good. That was on purpose. Last week, by the way, early in the podcast, you gave me that, and I was right on. But I was curious when I watched it. When I watched it, it was pretty close too.
Remember, even a blind squirrel finds a nut once in a while.
I was like John Bonham, just playing just behind the beat on that thing. It was awesome. Felt good about it.
So I was thinking about one time, you're talking about that concert, that outside concert for the Len's friend's son.
Oh yeah, the Pothstock, Bob Pothier.
Pop?
P-O-T-H, Poth. His last name is Pothier, so it's Pothstock.
Pothstock, that's good, yeah. But you and I were doing math about if they had 5 bands, then we said, well, it depends how long it takes for them to tear down the stage and stuff.
Yep.
So you said, yeah, but they might have like a house thing. One time we played at a club over in Madeira Beach, and it was a fundraiser for a lady that had cancer and survived. So there's going to be 6 bands playing, but we got there early, and the first band wasn't there, so we went in and played first. And they had what they call a back line. So the back line is they have all these different amplifiers. There's like three different ones for guitar. So if you want to, pick the one you want to pick.
You just pick your amps and plug in? That's kind of cool.
Yeah, we didn't have to bring our stuff in. Well, everything was already set up. We just put in our guitars and plugged in, and then boom, we're done.
Marshall stack. You get your choice of what you want to do. Nice.
Yeah, we could do whatever we wanted. They shouldn't say 3. They had more because in some, like with us, we had 3 guitar players, so we needed more, but they had everything set up. It's so cool.
That's amazing. Makes it easy.
So we played the other bands.
Other equipment?
No, their set. We played their set because they weren't there yet, and we're supposed to be like the 3rd or 4th one. So we played our first one, which was theirs. Then we played our own. So we played twice.
Wait a minute. Hold on. You played the other band's set list?
No, we played the other set, not the set list. We played this other set because they weren't there yet.
I got it. I was confused, and you could see with that confusion. I was like, hold on. So you got 2 slots. You got 2 slots to play your music. So
we played the first set, and then when that turn that was the turn that we're supposed to be playing, we played our set again. So we played 2 different sets, not the same songs, but 2 different times we have to playing.
All right. I was almost confused again. Did you see me? So every time, and it's been a while, I try, we go out and play live and I pull the drums out. Like I pull them out now for the side yard gig, but it's about 30 feet out of the bulkhead. But when we're like traveling and setting up, I always say to somebody, I could have played the harmonica.
So
Instead, I got all these drums and racks and stuff. My goodness.
are we going to see one of these pretty soon or something coming over?
I don't think we're going to see it. We've had some discussions on this end, and there's some preparations that are happening. But it might take a week or two for those to come to fruition.
It'll be worth it.
It will be worth it. I think you'll have a laugh. I think you'll have a laugh. I think the viewership is going to enjoy it. I've been hearing back from a lot of viewers looking for that as well. You're not the only one. So, yeah.
That's awesome.
Been discussed. We actually took a little mini road trip on Friday, just a day, Friday to Saturday, but and discussed it on that road trip. But we went out to Lake George, New York.
Oh, nice, yeah.
Beautiful spot. So my dear friend Bennett, who I grew up with, who lives in Florida, he and his wife they're on quite the road trip, visiting family. They're in Canada. They came back down. They're looking for some lake houses. Pretty awesome. And they were going to be in that area. So we said, well, come out and spend the night. So at the southern tip of Lake George is a really nice, old, but pretty nicely renovated up hotel called the Fort William Henry Resort and Conference Center, something like that. Your basic hotel room. But you walk out the back of this property, there's a veranda bar, and the whole green lawn just kind of drops. There's a pool, and then behind that is just Lake George. It's spectacular.
Say, I just noticed you talk about the changing up the set. Yours is different because I only see one window and half of another one. Before I could see like four windows.
Yeah, I'm playing with it here. I'm changing it up.
So I was talking to a friend of mine at up north, and he was going to Lake Winnipesaukee, and I said, "Oh, I went there a few times." And one time I went there, we're going to our friend Don's house. He says, "When you go to the marina there, just take a boat and say, take me to Don's house." I'm not gonna say his last name, but you know who I'm talking about. So when we got there, it wasn't a house on the lake. He had an island in the middle of the lake, and he had his house on the lake.
On the lake.
On his house on the island on the lake. Wow, huh?
That island also surrounded by water.
That one was?
Yes, it was.
I should have noticed because it was a small island, so I should have been able to see the whole thing was surrounded by water.
Yeah. And being from Santa Maria, you should have recognized it immediately.
I know, but
What's surprising is how many islands are on these bigger lakes. I mean, Winnipesaukee is like an ocean, but I bet there's hundreds of islands on Winnipesaukee. Lake George, so there was a bunch of islands out there. It was spectacular. We got out there at about, what time was that? 4:30, and just like checked in, chilled out, met up with them. Lynn was meeting them for the first time. We had a nice drink. We went out to dinner. And then yesterday we drove half an hour south of there to Saratoga Racetrack.
wow.
I've never done anything. This is a new experience. I mean, the horse racing, this is quite a culture.
See,
this is amazing. It's fun.
That just brought back memories of when I went to the Tampa Bay Downs to try to get a part-time job as a jockey.
Oh, yeah. How'd that go?
Well, they took one good look at me and they said, "You don't qualify. You're too tall." Have you ever had a boat?
A boat?
Yeah.
Yeah, when I was I was just gonna say a kid, my dad got a sunfish, little sailboat. Sit on it and get this one sail. It was fun.
Cool.
But never a boat, like with a motor. Friends did.
So you familiar with the Assabet River?
Assabet River. Yeah, it must be. It's in this area.
Yeah, it runs through Hudson and stuff. So one time I was talking to somebody, how did they come up with that name? He says, well, the natives, the local natives were in a canoe going through that river, and they hit a rock, and the canoe flipped over and stuff, and they said to him, "Are you okay?" He goes, "Well, I hurt my ass a bit because of the rock." That's how they.
So they spoke English like that, enough to be able to have play on words.
Oh yeah, they have been in America for a while.
I think we're calling them indigenous people now.
Indigenous people, yeah. Well, you have to be careful with what you say.
I think native is. I think we just lost some viewership when you said native.
Oh wow.
And I was just watching sports, of course, big baseball guy. So I was just watching Sports Center this morning, seeing what's going on. The Yankees lost again. Beautiful. And I was reminded the Cleveland Guardians. I wonder what percentage of our population know that the Cleveland Guardians is the new name for the new name for the baseball team.
Yeah. Isn't that kind of silly?
They could have said Cleveland Indigenous People. I guess that would have been appropriate. Or maybe not. I don't know.
I don't know. I think that it's all silly and stuff like that.
Well,
Trying to find somebody to read to you, but I can't find it now.
Oh, way to prep for the show. Nice. I got to tell you, this horse racing culture, people, it's unbelievable. And this, I've never been to Kentucky, the Derby, but people just show. This place opens at 6 in the morning. The first race is at 1 o'clock, 1:05.
Yeah.
It opens at 6, and people are setting up like full pop-down tents with chairs and food, and you can bring your own coolers in with all your own beverages and food. And then you come up to like the big. Once you get in there, you can pay to have seats in the grandstands, where the race runs around you. But the dress, I mean, women in dresses with the hats, just like the Kentucky Derby, and then you got shorts and T-shirts. It was quite the diverse clothing, and just to walk around and try to get an understanding of this whole world. It's fascinating. Sessions everywhere, and they do this thing so before every race, the horses get walked through this brick fenced, and you walk right across it, but they chain it off. The horses come through. They go into what they call the paddock area. And then the jockeys walk in and they're meeting the owners and the trainers. And that's where they do a little bit of networking and then bringing their people in. And the jockeys get on the horses, or they walk next to them, and they walk them out of the paddock into the race. That's where they race. And so there were 11 races. Before every race, they walk up through the paddock and walk out again. But after one day at the races, we got a really good feel for how that whole thing works. But it is quite an adventure and a lot of fun, a lot of excitement. Interesting.
I used to work at a company that I was marketing to financial advisors.
Yep, remember that.
And once a year, we would reserve a room, you want to call it a room or whatever, at the Tampa Bay Downs. So all the employees would go there for free, and they'd have food for us and stuff, and free drinks and all that stuff. It's kind of cool, It never really was a
Tampa Bay Downs. They do horse racing there.
Yeah, that's the place where I went to see if I get the job as a
jockey.
As a jockey, yeah. I don't think I'm that tall. Why do they say I'm so tall? I'm not that tall.
Well, these jockeys are short guys. So you might have had an inch or two on them. That's all you needed.
So the thing with the Indians, I mean the baseball team, what's it called now?
Guardians.
Guardians. See, that's what I was looking for. It's all because of the woke. I'm going to lose some people at this one here. Everybody says I'm woke. So woke, here's a definition of woke: a fake state of awareness only achieved by dummies that try to find injustices everywhere except in their own behavior.
Oh, little harsh turn there at the end.
Whoa!
Wow, I got to go learn that after this.
You'll never be able to play that one.
I have to go to the studio after this podcast. But you know what you said in that sentence that made me think? As we go through our lives and try to love our neighbors and do the right stuff and hold doors for people and live, I don't know, however we feel is right. Injustice, like, what are you looking for as we're out there? Are we looking for injustice? Or are we looking to reflect back and say, how can I make a better difference in the world?
Right.
So it comes down to what you're looking for. And I think you attract that to yourself.
Yeah, I think some people use it for the wrong reason, I think. I don't know.
Well, I think people use lots of things for the wrong reasons, but I think it's interesting that you attract to yourself what you put out there. And part of what you put out there is what are you expecting? Here's our lesson for the day, Mr. Cabral. I like that. That was good.
All right, so now we can shut this down because we're done. That was a good lesson.
Well, Zoom's about to cut us off anyway. Last week we got cut off hard, didn't we? Was that last week or the time before?
No, they always do.
It was a hard stop.
See, I thought it was 45 minutes, but it's not. It's actually 40 minutes.
It might be 38. I think they're messing with us.
No, it's actually 40, but if you looked at the last few, it's at like 38 minutes, 39 minutes. It's like,
I'm trying to find some injustice in this. I'm looking for injustice right now, and I think that Zoom is seeing our numbers, and they're thinking we got to do something to cut these guys back. So they're giving us 38 minutes to make us look bad. We get cut off, and people go, we're going to go from 10,000 down to 9,500 this week because of that.
What they realized was that most people are going more than an hour, and if they cut it down to 40 minutes, if you want more, you can pay an extra fee every month, or you can pay a fee every month. Where the way we do it is free, but if you go over 40 minutes, you have to pay a fee every month, and then you can do it as long as you want.
I wish you hadn't said this that was free, because it makes it look like we're cheap to our viewership. Frugal. It's the Frugal Podcast.
So that thing we did last one, we were talking about how when I see people, I talk to them that I don't know. I talk to them like I know them.
Hey, how you been?
Yeah, that kind of stuff, right? So then sometimes people, one of my guys says, "So what do you think about that TV? You watch TV for? What does that mean?" I says, "Well, if they said, hey, you look familiar." I says, "Yeah, well, you watch TV?" And their mind, they think, "So I must know this guy from some kind of show. I wonder what show he was on." They start thinking of that because they think that I've been on TV. That's why they say that. That's why I say it's for them to think, "Oh, wait a minute, what show is he on?"
Or they could say yes, but I don't watch horse racing.
But here's the thing, I've been in sales for 40 years, right? I've been in sales for 40 years.
40 years, gee.
And I believe that I do about 1,000 presentations per year, with individuals or groups or
yes,
or a couple, whatever. And so after a while, you get to know a lot of people, but it's really impossible to remember everybody's name exactly. Sometimes if I run into somebody that I actually know, and I haven't seen them in a few years, but I know who they are and they know who I am, and they say, "Hey, Tony, what's going on?" And I can't remember the name. I came up with a way to get their name. Like, play along with me. If I was talking to you and I wasn't remembering your name, I'd say, "Hey, what's your name, by the way?"
Michael.
"Oh, I know that. I meant your last name."
Oh. Just over your left shoulder. What are you talking about?
And then I say,
But that's smart.
I said, "No, I knew that. I meant your last name."
You know what? I think you taught me that a long time ago, because I've used that.
Yeah, it's kind of cool because, you want to remember.
I know that. I'm talking about your last name.
Or if they say, Copperwhite, I say, "I knew that. I meant your first name,"
And I'd say, what kind of friend are you?
No, but they tell you the name. They tell you just like you did, Michael Copperwhite, see? Boom.
Although if they ask you, what, I gave you my first name only. If someone gives you their first and last, then you're stuck.
I know.
Luckily, it doesn't happen too often because you get a good memory for stuff like that.
But if they say only the first name, if they say Michael, says, "And?"
What do you share? You have a last name? Pretty cocky.
Are you embarrassed about that or something, or what?
Sitting on the edge of a couch, I just almost fell off. Wow.
Well, today was a tough morning, buddy.
Today was?
Last night I was taking my medications and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't have my contacts on, so by mistake, I took 2 sleeping pills and 2 laxatives.
Oh, boy.
It was a shitty night, but I slept right through it.
Oh, there you go. So you got that going for you. That's why I hear the washing machine in the background. A little laundry done. Wow.
Even the neighbors get their fingers blowing this way.
Oh, that's a good one.
So what's going on today, buddy?
I have some studying to do. I have for my pilot license certificate, and I am subscribed to an online ground school. There's a written exam that's a very big deal within the process of becoming a pilot, and I have to take this soon. I don't have a date yet, but I have a lot of studying to do online with this ground school, so I'll probably throw 3 or 4 hours at that like I did last Sunday, and I'm ripping through it, and it's all good.
That's good, yeah. And, sometimes when I'm doing nothing, I watch some of those talent shows. like America's Got Talent or something. Because sometimes you see some people that are so freaking cool, are so good, and you wonder how come they're not huge stars already. There's
Mm.
one thing, this young lady, I said probably in her early 20s or something. She came out. And she goes by the name Blackbird when she sings. So they always ask her, so what do you do? What do you do for work and stuff? She says, well, I haven't been doing much for work. So how come? She says, well, because I've been fighting cancer. So then, they're like, oh, sorry to hear that. So she says, no, I'm okay. It's okay. So she kept saying it's okay. So the song she sang was a song that she wrote called "It's Okay," right? And she was talking about her challenge with cancer stuff. So at the end, the judge says, "So how you doing?" And he says, "Oh, you can't." Actually, one of the times I thought it was so great. She says, "You can't wait until life isn't hard anymore before you can decide to be happy." Huh? Wow.
I talked about that in one of my keynote presentations about happiness. And one of the things I say about it was, I read this quote a long time. Abe Lincoln said, "People are about as happy as they make up their minds to be."
That's true, yeah, isn't it?
But I remember reading that along, and I was like, I don't understand that. Like, I thought you're happy when things fall into place for you and things go well, which is outside of your control. And it's just not true. And happiness really is an attitude. I do this really powerful thing about the top 5 regrets of the dying. And I won't give the whole thing away here, but they had done, it's a fascinating thing, but nursing home people, there was actually a nurse who was a home care nurse, and 8 years of her career, she was caring for people in their home who had between 3 and 10 weeks to live. And so the conversation she had with these people where they were coming home to die, which is, there's a beautiful comfort in that. And the conversation, she wrote a book called The Top 5 Regrets of the Dying, because he had these common conversations the whole time. But one of them was, I wish I'd allowed myself to be happier. I learned too late in life that happiness is a choice.
Choice, yeah.
But there it is. That's what she was talking about. We can be happy no matter what's going on if we decide to be.
But, I'm not trying to tell
What are
them.
you looking for? Are you looking to be happy? And if you are, you're going to attract that anyway.
So if something happens to me and I'm feeling a little down, the first thing I do is grab the phone and call one of my friends that I know, that if I call that friend, I'll make him laugh and he'll make me laugh, and then it fixes it.
All gone.
Yeah.
That's why you called me 74 times last week.
Yeah, because I was down. Boy. That's funny, isn't it?
I think these podcast viewers should listen to some of our phone calls. Oh, how about you? What do you got going on today?
Not much. It's just a sitting back, relaxing day.
Mm-hmm. It's a good thing for a Sunday. Temperatures here, it's just shifting. Like we talked about this last week. It's August. In my mind, August is just a summer month. But boy, it's a transition month. It's chillier in the mornings and days are shorter, and it's a little cooler and amazing. 2 weeks from now is Labor Day weekend, which has always been, like the end of summer weekend.
So few months ago, my doctor told me that he thought I might have three months to live.
Mm.
I said, man, I came in today to talk to you. I don't even have money to pay this at this visit. He goes, all right, you got 6 months to live then.
Just get your bill paid. I'll give you the real story.
Give me extra time. Yeah, give me a little extra time to get the money.
Right, you got 6 months to live. Oh, you got me. Got me. You've been getting me about once a podcast for a little bit of a streak you got going on here. And one of those was twice in a row.
Well, you threw down a challenge.
Oh, well, man.
You remember that?
No.
Because one day he says, well, I've heard all your jokes. I said, you think so? Ah, I'm proving it.
I've heard all your jokes 10,000 times.
Yeah.
And you went and wrote some more stuff. It's good. It's good.
You haven't heard them all because I always get you. No, sometimes
yes, you have been getting me. It's always, and I love getting got. It's fun. I love laughing is very healthy. No better medicine than some laughter. We talked about that on the phone this week, didn't we? Laughter is the best medicine.
It really is.
Who said that?
Some comedian guy. I don't know.
Oh, I thought it was some doctor. That's interesting. We both went different directions.
I think laughing releases all kinds of endorphins, doesn't it?
no question. What was that book about the guy who cured himself? I'm not sure if it was cancer with laughter. Remember
Oh
that?
yeah, the French guy.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's a French guy. I can't think of his name now.
Pierre.
I don't know.
First French name came to my head.
Well,
And so far, the only one. So
the
I'll
only
leave it
one.
there.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
Hmm.
and then did he did it on his own, or did his doctor tell him to do that? I don't remember now.
It doesn't sound like it'd be doctor prescribed in our Western world. Go laugh. You know,
Go
that
laugh.
doesn't
Yeah.
that doesn't line up. So he must have. I think he had he made a loop of all the old funny shows. Like we find different things funny, you know. Like I got a lot of friends of mine, and this is a guy thing. This is totally a guy thing. But the Three Stooges,
Oh yeah.
I don't find them funny,
You don't?
but most guys do.
I found it funny because it's so stupid. It's ridiculous. It's
Well,
actually
that's it. It's so stupid. But if you go a little earlier than that, like Laurel and Hardy, that's fun.
yeah.
And Abbott and Costello, a little newer, sometimes really funny.
So from now on, I think I'm gonna go to the pharmacy and say, hey, I need some jokes. I'm not feeling well. I need some laughter.
And
Any
then you go,
jokes?
why are you here? And you could say, someone said laughter is the best medicine, and you guys
Yeah.
prescribe medicine.
You got any jokes?
And they would say, here's your prescription. Tune into the no hissy fit zone. Oh,
Watch
that's
up.
marketing. That's marketing right there. We got to get involved with the pharmaceutical companies to promote our show.
Yeah, go watch episode 32.
Oh, yeah.
Your life will be better. Wow. So did you see the thing I sent you with the drum, me playing that drum behind me back there?
Yes.
So here's the deal. I'm sure you noticed my right hand is fine, but my left hand just does this. You know, it doesn't do the thing.
I actually did not notice that.
Yeah. If you watch it again, you'll see. What's wrong with his left hand?
I thought that was your audition video for Carlos Santana band.
Wow. So one time, Terry has a friend that invited a bunch of her friends over to her house. She has a big house in the lake, and she had this guy from Africa who was really good with the drum. So everybody was supposed to bring the drum. That's why I bought that drum because I didn't have one. And he was going to teach everybody how to do the drum thing because they have these drum circles. And he was talking about how the drum came about in Africa, how the people would communicate with the drums from one village to another or whatever. But this guy was extremely, extremely good. He could get all kinds of sounds out of it. It was like crazy good. But he was talking about why the people will do the drums is the reason because I just got the notification. 10 minutes.
They say 10, but they only mean 7.5.
No, I always thought we could go 45, but we can't. We can go 40. But anyway, the guy was so unbelievable. We had a great time because we had broke up into groups. We had like 3 or 4 groups, and we would do our message, in our group, and the other group would reply to us and stuff. It was really cool. Man. We had a good time. So that's what I bought. That's why I bought that drum.
You just said that, and it reminded me. You probably saw it on my face. Reminded me of a story. My last story for our cast today. But I took my father, as you remember, to Florida.
Yeah.
This is only, let me think here. He's been gone a year. This is only 3 years ago. And it was his first time ever in Florida. He's 93 years old. He always wanted to go to Florida. My mom was always like, no, we're not going to Florida ever. And so we went to Florida. He has a cousin of his south of you, Atlantic Beach, I want to say, maybe an hour south. So we went to this party. That's why we were there. But he slept in one morning, and I drove up to meet you in Clearwater. We went to dinner. We went to breakfast at that diner.
Lenny's.
Betty's?
Lenny's.
Lenny's. And on the way out, you told me about an album that Carlos Santana did with cover songs with different vocalists.
Yeah.
And I'd never heard of it, and I downloaded it that day. And if anybody's watching this and doesn't know this out, that is amazing. Chris Cornell is on that. He did some amazing. I'm going to show you the cover. How do you like that?
Yeah, Supernatural, right?
Do you remember what that was called?
Supernatural?
Oh, well, that could be. Let's see if I can not waste our.
Yeah, Rob Thomas was on there.
No, this is it right here. Guitar Heaven, the greatest guitar classics of all time.
Guitar Heaven. Oh yeah, yeah,
You're
yeah.
watching this and you don't know this album, you like rock music, this is incredible. Whole Lot of Love with Chris Cornell.
So
Oh, Sunshine of Your Love, the Cream tune with Rob Thomas. While My Guitar Gently Weeps, Photograph, Def Leppard with Daughtry. There's some amazing stuff. Nas does Back in Black. I mean, really cool.
and so what I like about it so much is that Santana's doing the leads,
Yeah.
the lead parts of for those songs with his own touch. I mean,
Oh, it's totally his touch.
amazing, isn't it?
But so creative with different vocals and the song choices. And I just remember that day. I was so thankful that you were sharing this. I love getting turned on to new music. But also I didn't know it existed. I'm like, wow. I mean, I sometimes think, as much as we love music, I sometimes think like my favorite band, I haven't even been introduced to yet. Like, how cool is that to think about? There's so much music out there.
So on this, I think it's on Supernatural. There's a song with him and Eric Clapton playing,
Ah,
and I'm listening to that thing, and all of a sudden, one guy's doing the lead, and I says, "Ooh, that's a Telecaster," or I mean, a Stratocaster. So I said, "What the heck is that?" And then the other guy plays, and it sounded like a Les Paul or what do you call it?
that amazes me about you guitar players. As a drummer, I recognize how little ear I have, or non-existent, when I hear guitar players talk about they can hear a tone in a guitar and know what it is.
Yeah, yeah.
And
It was,
that blows me away.
so I could tell the other one was like it was a Paul Reed Smith, PRS.
Hmm.
But I could tell that which guy was playing. I could tell it was Carlos or it was Eric Clapton, because not just the tone, but the way they play so differently. Santana's an amazing player.
So I'll be hearing 2 weeks from last night. So 13 days, I'll be hearing a Washburn guitar being played spectacularly by your friend from Hudson.
Where at?
Wasn't it Washburn? Yeah, we're going to see Extreme up at the Hampton Beach Casino Ballroom
Oh yeah, that's
on
awesome.
Labor Day weekend, Saturday night. Oh, I'm so psyched.
Phew.
I got to text my buddy and say I got my tickets, and maybe I'll see him up there. And he'll be busy, but behind the drums and all. But looking forward to that.
I watched an interview yesterday with Joe Perry and Steven Tyler. Man, those guys went through some tough times. Wow, so crazy. Wow.
Yeah. They've
Some
been
of the
some
stuff that
tough
they
times
did.
and some good times, and I think they all both have, they all have $150 million apiece to prove.
Yeah, I know. They're doing okay. I watched some
All
of
right,
that.
let's wrap it up before they wrap it up for us, and we'll look like professionals.
Oh, we got 3 minutes. You know what happens is I can always
That's what we say every time.
I can always go to the end and trim something off if I don't think it's
Yeah, that's all my stuff you trim off. You trim off my best stuff. I save my best stuff for the end. Hits the cutting room floor.
yeah. I wasn't gonna tell you that. I'm surprised you figured that out. I wasn't gonna tell you.
Don't get me started.
Oh, I forgot about that. So I went back and watched it. It's at the 31st minute of 33.
That was funny.
Oh, that was funny.
That got me as we did it, and it got me again as I watched it. So that's a good get right there.
That wasn't something that was rehearsed. It was just one of those things that just. Oh.
I'll wrap it up with a big confession. I have not heard all your jokes.
No.
Which is such a blessing to my life, because think about how much more stuff I have to look forward to.
And sometimes you know how my mind works. I told you about.
I'm not sure I do, but go ahead.
I told you about going into Five Guys, the burger joint. I tell you that?
Probably.
So I walk into Five Guys, and there's a pretty young lady at the counter says, "Welcome to Five Guys. What can I get for you?" So I said to her, "Where are the other two?" She goes, "I'm sorry." She says, "Where are the other two?" She goes, "I'm not following you." I says, "Well, outside the sign says Five Guys. I walk in, you said, 'Welcome to Five Guys,' and I look behind you. There's only three guys back there. Where are the other two?" And then she started laughing. She actually thought it was funny, so she called her boss over and says, "Hey, this customer here has a complaint." She says, "What's going on?"
She called her boss out of the back room and said, "Hey, number 4, get out here."
No, because it's an open area, so there's only three guys there. So she called the guy of the three that was the supervisor. She says, "What's going on, sir?" I says, "Well, The sign says Five
Oh,
Guys outside.
you retold the whole thing.
This young lady who was very, very polite. She says, "Welcome to Five Guys." I look back. There's only three of you. Where are the other two? Huh? Where are the other two? He goes, "Boy, that's very clever." He says, "Is it worth a free fry or something?" I don't know.
A free fry. It's a
Uh,
little surprising that given the name Five Guys, you're the first one to think of that and tell it to them. That's a little
then
fun.
I told you I was driving from Tampa to Orlando, and halfway over after Lakeland, there's a sign that said Florida Air Museum, next exit. I thought to myself, wow, that'd be kind of cool to see. So I got off the thing and I followed the signs. And then I pulled up to the parking lot and I said, Air Museum, my ass, it's a regular building on the ground.